Hey everybody, welcome to the Tabletop Spotlight. I'm Adam.
And I'm Matt.
We're from Bowls and we're here to talk to you today about some cool stuff that you'll be able to pick up this weekend from your favorite local gaming store. Matt, how's it going, man?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing?
I'm alright, man. I'm having a good time. We just got to play some games this week. I'm excited. I'm excited about the stuff coming out this weekend.
I also got last week I was talking about how I wanted to finally get some more Skyrim in.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah,
and
the board game.
The board game, right.
The board game.
And I completed the first scenario.
Nice.
And it was fun because it's a very long journey, I guess, to get through a Skyrim campaign.
Just like the video game.
Right, just like the video game. Well, the game comes with two pre-made ones.
Okay,
whatever.
yeah.
But it didn't really... when I finished, I didn't notice at the time how incredibly overpowered my character was until I really sat back and looked at it, and I was like, oh, I was never in any danger. But the way I play Skyrim, the board game, is very similar to how I play Skyrim, the video game. And I would do a lot of side quests before I actually got around to the main quest, and you level up, and it just kind of happens.
I want to ask real quick too, how do you play Skyrim, the video game, typically then?
I mean, any game where I can... This is tangential a little bit, but... So, games like Breath of the Wild and Skyrim, I really like because I just have a... it's fine. I have a very strong wanderlust in it's if I when I start a game, I look for the furthest thing I can see and I just beeline to it and just get distracted along the way.
Yeah,
and that's how I played Breath of the Wild.
So basically, when you played Skyrim, the board game, or Skyrim the video game, you do a lot of the side quests. It sounds like
not even necessarily side quests, just anything but the main.
Okay.
Wander into every cave, talk to every person.
That's how you level up, though.
I've never even I couldn't even tell you how far along in the Skyrim main plot I've ever gotten. Not very.
Yeah, I've played Skyrim, and I had to stop myself from doing that very thing where I'll do a bunch of side quests and be like, nope, stop, okay.
Yeah,
focus,
I do that. I
did
never hit that point though.
Yeah.
And then at some point it's like, what's this game about again?
Yeah, and I have to stop taking. I'm like, sorry, quest log's full. I know your village is on fire and you need help because the dragon's attacking, but you're on your own, villagers. Sorry, I have a mission and you're gonna deal with it. So it's kind of cold blooded, but eventually it's like, look, I've helped the last 10 towns out. You're on your own.
Right.
Sorry.
You drew the short straw of not getting.
I need to finish this game now. I'm done here. But
that brings to a pretty fun discussion point that I wanted to bring up as a board game based on some other intellectual property. I thought it would be fun today to talk about if you could create a board game or any kind of tabletop game based on either some existing IP or an idea. What's a game that you have that would be just if you could create your perfect game, what would that be like? And I'm wondering if you have one ready, because this is something I really enjoy doing.
Well, you tell me. You go first because
I got a couple. So we'll ballpark or we'll
spitball.
Spitball. Bowl. I was in there, but one of the game ideas that I've been trying to make work for a long time, because I'm a huge sucker for anything time travel. Just time travel movies, time travel books, anything. I just the actual semi-real science of it. It fascinates me and I love it.
Sure.
And I've been trying to figure out a way that there would be a way to make some strategy game that involved time travel. And the best way I can think of that potentially working is, and this is getting a little mechanical, but it would be something like, you have a board and you move around and you do things, whatever. But then there would be a track as a separate board that would have sequential events. So for example, I would, I destroy this building in, 1930 or whatever, and then I would put that token on the 1930s space of the board, and then there would be a current year marker that would move, or maybe the token shift down, and then when the present met the thing that I did at that time, then it would happen versus when I actually did it. See what I mean? Like the idea's there. I just can't quite. Right. Yeah. It's intentionally complicated, but again, I just really like time travel. I like the way it works. I like the.
Do you have a favorite time travel movie? Totally tangential.
No, that's fine. If you are real heavy into time travel, Primer is the way to go. Sure. You know Primer?
I am familiar. Yeah.
It's like a weird black and white indie film about these two engineers who make a time machine, and it's like you got to watch it like 3 or 4 times. Like really, I watched a video about the plot, and that is like it helps a lot, but like it's a long video just to explain like, okay, so when this happens, but then they go back, and that person you were talking to was actually this other person from the future, and it's
I think that time travel in movies can be really loose and really like fun, like lighthearted, and then it can be super serious. I still think that the original Terminator is one of the best time travel movies out there.
You know what? I really like Bill and Ted, actually.
Yes, like, that's another one.
As silly as that, and I love the message of that movie is fantastic. Be excellent to each other. We need more of that.
Yeah, for sure.
But the idea that they be like, oh,
remember a trash can, remember a trash can, remember a trash can. And,
and then it's just like, oh, we need to get your dad's keys, and
I stole them before he lost them, and I put them behind this bush.
Right, and then they just at some point later go do that thing, and then it will have happened by the time that they get to that point. And just that, I love it. It's so fun and cool, and I love seeing those pieces fall into place, and you get that a lot in time travel movies.
But no, I think that the time loop of Terminator. I've watched a lot of theories about time travel in movies, but also in Terminator, how like there was probably an earlier version of that story where. I'm not gonna get into it. It's too complicated. But like, there's like a step before that Terminator. Like this was, you're actually watching the second iteration of the time loop, going like, through,
depending on how the first one went through, and then like the machines learn, and they went like
it's
entirely possible. You're on like
there was
the
no
10th
Sarah
iteration.
Connor. Yeah, there was no Sarah Connor at first. There was just like Skynet develops over time. Eventually, tries to go back and kill the leader of the resistance, fails, and then the leader goes back and tries to save it, save his mom. But then it turns out that there was a different John Connor, a previous iteration. It's just like this crazy thing. Anyway,
I'm trying to remember
time travel on a board game.
There is a couple games that do it pretty well. There's a game, and I'm blanking. It's called, I think, like Anathema, something like that, or I might be getting the name wrong. But it's something like that, and I have not played it yet. But then there's another one called Chrononauts, which is not really time, like it is a time travel theme, but it doesn't really have any mechanics of it. It's a fun little like solo game.
I played one that was a Time Stories, I think it's called.
Time Stories, yeah.
It's the one where you basically play as like a member of the time agency, and you get sent back to some point in the past or future or something like that, and you basically, it's like a puzzle room where you and your group have to kind of figure out how to do something, but every time you do something, you are basically spending time to do activities. And
time is like punctuated, right? Right. It's like an abbreviation. Yeah.
And so you have X number or X amount of time to do something, and it's kind of like a choose your own adventure. But if you don't do all the things correctly, you'll finish, but you may not get the best score. Right. And so the idea of the game is to replay the missions to get a higher and higher score eventually. So it's like, can you figure out the path, and how many iterations did it take you to figure out the correct path?
Sure.
For the replay value of it.
So it's almost even like a roguelike in a way, where like you try, kind of fail, but then you try it again.
Yes and no, because the thing about a lot of roguelikes is they can be randomly generated. Sure. But this is like a fixed. There is a fixed branching path. Or there's a bunch of branching paths, but there's a fixed correct high score path basically. Okay. And if you can unlock that quick enough, and you might go back a couple of times and fail to figure out like, oh, that path ends at this point and we are not where we need to be. And then you're supposed to replay it and try to get a different score. But yeah, it's cool. Time Stories was neat. Time travel in a video
game. Because I like game design. I have probably at this point literally a dozen half-finished, half-designed board games just sitting on my Google Drive that one day
we'll be reviewing one of Matt's games.
Right. Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But like, so, and this is the one that I have like a whole folder of just like, all right, maybe this, because figure I need to get like that mechanic down, then I can build the game around it. But that's the one that's my white whale of game design, of just trying to figure out how that could potentially work. And I'm sure there are games out there that have done it and have really nailed the feeling and vibe of it, but I just haven't really found them. So if you know any,
I was gonna say, if you have any time manipulation or time travel board games specifically, tabletop games specifically, drop them in the comments. Matt will check them out, and
it's true.
We'll talk about them later.
I think it would be really cool to get one up and going, but like I said, it's just I haven't really, and I haven't sat down in a while and hammered it out. But I do have a game pitch that I would give. Okay,
so,
hit me.
So this one is actually directed at FFG. If you're watching Fantasy Flight Games, this one's for you. It's a game set in the Arkham Horror Files.
Sure, you're a big fan.
I'm a big fan, but the whole pitch of this game is that you are actually playing the Arkham Police Department.
Just some random.
Right? So and it's working title is like Arkham PD, right? But the whole concept of this game and the whole concept of the Arkham Horror Files is that there are investigators, right?
Sure.
And their job is to go and stop this crazy plot from destroying the world or Arkham or summoning an elder god or whatever, right? So there's the investigator side.
Yeah.
Then there's the cultists, who for some reason are trying to bring about this terrible calamity, whether they're
what are they thinking?
Water people from Innsmouth, whether they're cultists trying to summon an old god, or just greedy rich people trying to get more power or whatever. And then you've got the cops.
Who have no idea what's going on.
Or do they? That's the pitch. The whole idea is that the cops are trying to maintain this balance between helping the investigators stop the cult without causing the panic of allowing the investigators to just, the world is ending. We've got the evidence right here. Like this council person is in behind this massive plot. There's a giant conspiracy to take out Arkham and ruin everyone's lives and control everything. The cops can't let that out, right?
Sure.
So you have to balance allowing the investigators to stop the cult while also keeping everything hush-hush.
Maintaining these cover-ups.
Maintaining a cover-up, maintaining the panic level.
That's fun.
Of the city of Arkham, the general public of Arkham, while not... And sometimes maybe you arrest an investigator to like put him in timeout, like, hey, you're causing too much of a stir.
Sure.
But I can't leave you in jail for too long, because if you're in there for too long, the cult's going to win and we'll all die. So the cops have to play dumb enough to allow the investigators to do their thing without allowing the cults to succeed. So it's this balancing act.
Would all players be playing as the police?
Yes.
Okay.
Cops, the players are playing, and it's funny, I've read in the Arkham lore, there's the Arkham PD, like the cops, and then there's the Arkham Sheriff's Department. And in one of the books I read, they were kind of given one of the investigators that running around like, oh no, you got to talk to the sheriff. It was outside city limits or whatever. Like, oh no, that happened in city. You got to go talk to the cops.
Right.
And so they were given one of the investigators running around, but they end up in the story. They arrest the guy, or the guy is like, I need help from the police, and like, okay, we read your statement. You said that such and such got absorbed into the wall in the corner because of the Hounds of Tintalos were trying to kill it.
Right.
So do you actually want us to print this, professor of Arkham University, and possibly lose, I don't know, everything? Or do you want to just rewrite that and say, alcohol silo exploded? What do you want to do about that?
No, that's fun.
He's like, I like the not losing my job, and we'll go with the alcohol explosion.
Because I was thinking it could also be fun, and not to like dismantle your game, but it could also be fun if there were like the 3 separate teams. Because a lot of Arkham Horror games are cooperative, which is great. I do love a cooperative game. But I think it could also be fun if it's like the police versus the investigators versus the cultists. So, maybe one game it's you and me, and we're each...
I think that could work, but I also think the what makes it so, and I like the concept of making it like multiple factions, but the problem is you really would have them the investigators and the police teaming up to stop the cults every time, because the cults ultimately control everything.
Sure.
So the tricky part is how the investigator or the police can get like influenced from the cults to like ignore whatever activity, cover up stuff. And it's because the cops, it's funny in the books, the cops aren't stupid as much crap as we want to give the police of Arkham PD. There's too many coincidences and too many investigations that just get ignored and dropped. Too many missing people, too many random bodies of mer people showing up on the show. So like they can't just ignore everything and keep their head in the sand. They have to keep it on the down low.
That's a really fun idea.
Yeah,
I like that
FFG, if you're watching, give me a call. What's up? I wanna talk. So
no, tell you what, we'll send this video over to them while we move on to talking about some of our games of the week.
And we're back, and we want to give a big shout out to our friends at Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy here in Austin, Texas. They're the ones that have hooked us up with the products we're going to be showing off that you can pick up this very weekend. And of course, Matt's suggestion.
I mean, if we ended on Arkham Horror, we got to lead back in with it.
Yeah.
What is this here?
This is Arkham Horror, the card game, the Forgotten Age Investigator expansion. And I will say again, now is the best time to start playing Arkham Horror ever, because FFG has redesigned their box sets. Again, I've mentioned this before. They have the investigator boxes and then the campaign boxes now. So if you missed it the first time around and you just want the player cards, this is what the investigator expansions are for.
Right, great for a gaming group where you don't need the campaign box. Times.
If it's just like you're one player, right? Like I just want to have the cards to add to my investigators. That's what this is for. If you are a gaming group of 4 people, you only need one box for the campaign expansion, which is later. But each player, or if you don't want any of the cards in here, you can just skip this one.
Sure.
But and still play the campaign and still have access to all that stuff. But now is the great time to do that. Full disclosure, I'm actually not the biggest fan of the Forgotten Age campaign.
Oh no!
But that's okay, because you can still get the cards for all of your investigators here. And if you wanted to skip the campaign, I still think it's worth playing. It's actually one of their tougher campaigns. So if you've been playing Arkham Horror and you think, oh, this game's way too easy, try Forgotten Age. You might change your mind. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, this is, again, just investigator cards, all the upgrades and new cards, new investigators to choose from. There's actually some really good investigators in here.
Like Ursula Downs.
Yeah, I'm actually a big fan of Ursula's ability. She can move and search for free. When she moves to a location, she can search. Yeah, after you take a move to a location and search. So it's pretty good.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
Yeah, it's action economy, man. It's good stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so go check that one out this weekend from FFG. Matt, what do you got?
I'm going to start with... Oh, my God. I got a flu shot yesterday. My left arm won't work.
Don't do it.
All right.
Don't hurt your arm.
This is Sky Tear. This is a game... based on your MOBAs like League of Legends and Dotas and others.
Dota 2s.
Yeah, Dota 2. You know what I'm talking about.
Your MOBAs.
But what really sets this game apart from a lot of other like tactics strategy games is there's no dice. Oh. As someone, I mean, not me personally, but as someone who plays MOBAs, I'm sure that is very appreciated because, your MOBA players typically really love, your number crunching and min-maxing and everything, and any randomness tend to be looked down upon.
Sure.
If I were to generalize the MOBA audience.
Sure.
So it's very clear to me, as with that design choice, that they understand the sort of players that they're going for.
Sure.
Aren't going to want that random element in it.
There is a random element though, right, with the cards?
Well, so there's still the cards and everything, but it's based on the cards you are getting are either going to be the abilities that you're using or a modifier to your abilities. So good abilities are going to have usually a negative modifier because it's a strong ability, so it'll have to be kind of balanced with the negative modifier of the, applied on that same card. So there's the deck building element of trying to make sure that your using your cards in a way that'll best,
You're
help
gonna
out.
min-max your yeah.
Right, yeah, there's a million different ways to play, which is another element of the game. There's 28 different heroes, and there's 2 different boards, and there's a bunch of different power cards, so there's a lot of different strategies and tactics that you can try within the game.
Cool.
And it's not very big, which is great if you're looking for a heavy strategy game that doesn't come in like a massive box.
Yeah.
Skytear might be up your alley.
Yeah, I think this box contains I think it's 8 heroes and 16 miniatures minions in here, but there's expansions that add more heroes to them.
Right. So there's 20 some characters because you can get the minions as well, and they'll fight, and then they'll get the tower. I haven't played a MOBA in a while, but
it's the same general.
Yeah, the MOBAs charge and attack the towers, and then there's the different victory conditions, so you can decide how you want to win, and then you can choose. Oh, I'm going for this one, but then I got you. I'm actually going for that one.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No need to go have a jungler.
Right. I still don't really know what a jungler is.
They go in the jungle and get XP.
Sure. Okay. Cool. All right. So that's Skytear.
Yeah. What's next? Let's talk Star Wars Legion. We have Moff Gideon, who is from, I believe, one of the shows, the Baby Yoda show, The Mandalorian.
I thought it was from Breaking Bad.
Yeah. Same actor.
That's the joke. That's the joke.
Yeah. Moff Gideon's out. I believe his troopers are also available either this week or next week. I don't remember when.
I'm not sure.
But it's out now. He's for Star Wars Legion, so yes, Star Wars Legion is still getting miniatures. They're not cutting support for Star Wars Legion to focus on Shatterpoint. A lot of people were they're going to just... No. Legion is going strong. They're still doing stuff for that. Shatterpoint's just going to be more Star Wars, which I guess is...
Star Wars it doesn't seem to be slowing down.
Yeah. Moff Gideon has the Darksaber.
Ooh.
As well as a pistol, like a blaster option too. Sure. So you will cover a couple different ways. He is, I believe, this is a solo or a commander?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't remember, but he's out now, as well as his troopers. So if you're looking to expand your dark side, your Imperial forces, check out Moff Gideon.
Awesome.
Darksaber's pretty cool, right?
I don't really follow Star Wars as much as I used to, but that does look pretty sick.
I don't follow that much anymore, but I know the Darksaber's a big deal. So
yeah, that looks pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Not gonna lie. So go check that one out. It's out this weekend.
All right.
Yes.
So while Adam is fawning over Darth Gideon,
I heard he has good fried chicken.
Sure. Yeah. Just stay out of the basement.
Yeah.
So this is Mantis. It is by the same people who made Exploding Kittens, and for as simple as a game like Exploding Kittens is, this one might be even more simple. If you're if you ever saw that game Point Salad, it was not a hugely popular game. Sorry, that was my phone. It's very similar in that you're collecting different colors of cards, and on your turn you will take the top card of the deck face down, and on the back there's 3 different colors in like a little circle on it. You can either try to score, meaning you'll look at the back 3, red, yellow, and blue, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you'll say, oh, okay, so the card I'm holding is either going to be one of those 3 colors. So if you are trying to score and you flip it over and you have one of those colors of cards, you score those cards. Collect them, they're worth 1 point each. That's scoring. Or you can try to steal, where you do same thing. You take the card, look at the top 3 colors on the back of the card, and then you look at what your opponent has, and if you flip it over and it matches one of their colors, you steal their cards.
Boom.
But if they don't have it, they gain the card.
Yeah.
And that's basically the entire game.
It's kind of like a weird reverse Go Fish.
Yeah, kind of.
But it's set matching. Like you're trying to score matching sets.
Right, and then it's first to 10
It's first to 10 points. So it's like...
Yeah, games can't take more than like 10 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes. It is really quick to play.
It's a party game, 2 to 6 players, maybe 7 and up. Even though it is by the Exploding Kitten folks, it is a family-friendly game.
Yeah,
so
there's no exploding kittens in this.
There's no explicit exploding kittens.
Right, and in fact, the point scorings are all rainbows. So it's very, very lighthearted, very family-friendly.
I'm guessing it's based on... Why it's called Mantis is because they can see a lot of colors.
I've
I know
heard mantis shrimp can see ultraviolet.
Yeah.
I think I heard that once.
I can see ultraviolence. That's a movie.
Well, that would be in Exploding Kittens. Actually.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of that.
That was the joke.
So there you go. That's Mantis.
Speaking of words that start with M, you like that? That's a good segue.
You've
Minotaur. Minotaur. So this is a game I saw. For me personally, the first time I saw this was PAX Unplugged.
Mm-hmm.
The Lynn Vander folks, the company, they had a booth there. I got to see this one. It's actually a really cool little game. It's a retro style, obviously. Like
it's very
8-bit style.
Yeah, very NES flavored.
Yeah, but how it works is actually a top-down style game. You play one of 4 characters, and you are like an ancient Greek hero, like not a specific hero, but like a wizard, a warrior, a warlock, and you are wandering through the ancient labyrinth, and you're trying to collect different medallions. Thank you. And you're trying to defeat the Minotaur. Now you can fight the Minotaur and defeat and like kill it. However, he'll just respawn because it's
the magic of the labyrinth.
Magic of the labyrinth, right? And so you have to move through the maze. You have to collect the medallions, and essentially what you're trying to do is collect the medallions and escape or trap the Minotaur. The way the map works is every time you go, like the tiles shift. So there's like a map. There's a deck that is map tiles, and then basically every time you go, you're drawing more map tiles, and like the top part goes away, and you like slide up, and then you refill the bottom. And it's kind of like a side scroller in that regard.
Right. Yeah, you have your like 3x3 grid of cards, and as you like go off the edge, the far edge disappears because it is off the screen. And then you get your new ones, and it's that sort of shuffling around. Yeah,
it's neat because it's all like the dungeon's randomly generated. You get to decide how the tiles go down, so you can kind of create your own paths. But the part of the fun is like, can you trap the Minotaur in one of those sections that's going to go away or not? So, but it's a neat game. Ages 14 and up, 1 to 4 players, and games take about 45 minutes. I would probably say like 15 minutes per player, because once you get it down, you can go pretty quick. So,
and I love a good NES style.
Yeah, the style's great.
Like it really reminds me of a Boss Monster.
Yeah, the pixel art is
pixel art is great.
Yeah, so go check this out. It's great. It's a good one.
All right,
Minotaur.
I have 2 copies of Broken and Beautiful.
Yes.
So this is a set collecting game, kind of. So it's based on the art of kintsugi, which is when you have it's that Japanese art of when you have a pot that breaks and you fill it with gold to repair it. Yeah, it's that.
Instead of super glue like I use to repair pots,
it's a little more expensive.
Use gold lacquer. It's a little fancier.
A little fancier, although if you did ever repair a mini with some gold leaf, that would be pretty cool. Probably don't paint over it though.
Yeah.
But so in this game, you were trying to collect teapots and cups and saucers, and they are each worth a certain number of points. But then throughout the game, you'll randomly draw a card that will break a certain type of pot.
Yeah, for everybody.
Right, everyone's pot shatters or cup shatters, whatever. And then throughout the turns, you'll have to choose which ones to repair, and then they will be worth more points than if they weren't otherwise broken. So it's trying to find that balance of, I want to keep this one, but then I also want to wait for it to break so that I can repair it so it'll be worth more points. But then the longer it's hanging around not being broken, you are potentially wasting points by not.
And anything that's broken is worth 0 at the end of the game, is worth 0 points too. So there's that balancing act of you have a limited amount of a gold lacquer to repair.
Yeah, it's very resource management, but then also trying to find this balance of waiting for something to break, but then you can also manipulate the deck a little bit to try to force it to break, but then maybe you're also helping your opponent more than you're helping yourself, and it's that style of game of just trying to analyze what's going on all at once, and it seems like a really cool little game.
The deluxe edition has some additional metal components that are just a little fancier, and then the standard edition obviously is a smaller box, but it's just cards.
Yeah, and I always really appreciate a small box game.
Throw that in your travel bag.
Yeah, exactly, and it plays up to
up to four.
Up to
right?
4.
2 to 4, yeah.
So it's great for, like, we're at a restaurant or a bar, and because I mean the
Stuck in an airport.
Yeah, the footprint on the game is not huge. It's you're gonna have like your little play area with your cards, and that's about it. So
yeah,
great for just plopping down on a bar table or whatever.
Yeah, good stuff.
So that is Broken and Beautiful.
Yes. Next up, I have a game that I really like too. This is Evolution, the Origin of Species, Evolution New World. Now, I had played the other version of this, which was Origin of the Species Evolution. The New World version of the game adds more to the game, basically. The way this game works is you are trying to collect and evolve animals. So each animal is worth like 3 points, I think, by the end of the game. Yeah. And there's 6 eras or epochs. Epochs? I always get that word wrong. But there's 6 time sections where you're trying to survive. And the way it works is you have your animal cards. You have like evolutions you can give them. The evolutions can allow them to maybe become a predator or have extra fat storage or whatever. And maybe they're omnivores. Becoming nocturnal, exactly. So you have to feed your animals. And basically at the end of the age, if the animal doesn't have food, they die. You lose all the points. They're gone. If they survive, then you move to the next round. And they get more points the more evolutions they have on them and stuff like that. You can also have predators that eat other animals, which is, it is what it is.
Right, that's how nature works.
That's how. You can also have animals who can hide with shelter, so you can get shelter tokens to keep them safe from predators. So there's also the locations are kind of universal. So you're all vying for the same resources, essentially. And so if somebody...
Which is, again, how nature works.
Right. If somebody takes that shelter before you did, and they have a predator to eat your stuff, that's fine. That stinks, but that's how it works. Or maybe you take the food from that last location, and they now have no food and starve. So, but it
has a really cool balance of like, as your animal starts to evolve more, it is worth more points, but then it is a bigger target for everyone else. And then there's like the combat element of like trying to predatorize each other.
Yeah, predator-prey mechanics.
Right.
But it's real simple. Feed your animals, keep it alive, keep them safe, try to get them to the end with evolutions and stuff like that.
And then there's a lot of like keywords, like only nocturnal animals can use this area to hunt for food and shelter. Yeah. Or like only flying creatures can use this.
Right.
So it's trying to find the right keywords that you want to apply to your animal. And
there's also cards that you can play that benefit multiple, like 2 of your animals at the same time.
Yeah, like
so cooperation partnerships.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of depth to this game. If you played the original version, again, this is like that, but more. There's more animals, more evolutions, more stuff. But it's a nice game. Pretty cool concept. It's 2 to 4 players as well. Games take about 30 minutes. Ages 11 and up, and yeah, good little science game.
I like the idea of this, maybe they offer this, maybe they don't. But like at the end of the game, trying to envision what your monster will look like when it has, it has fangs and tusks, but is nocturnal and flying, but can also burrow. And has poison.
But started with a hippopotamus.
Right? Picture. Yeah, exactly. Like it just seems real fun.
Yeah, Evolution New World. Check that one out.
All right, and I'm gonna let you cover this last one.
Why would I? Okay, yeah, this is. Love Mutants of Castle Heartache. So
I love this cover art.
If you're watching this when it comes out, Valentine's Day was the same week. So this is kind of it's a joke, but not really. It's from Dungeon Crawl Classics, and it is a. I'm just gonna read this tagline in the back.
Sure.
Ever been dumped so hard you transformed into a bloodthirsty mutant monster? Yeah. We see you, hero. And that's basically what this adventure is from Dungeon Crawl Classics. It's from Goodman Games. This is just wow, I didn't notice the cover had. Anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The cover has a lot going on.
Yeah, it does. It's very shiny.
Yeah.
But it's a module, classic module. I want to say there's a map. I'll show the map off real quick. But there you go.
It's very like when you say classic, it is a very classic adventure.
Yeah, if you've ever played a module from Dungeon Crawl Classics, they are literally classic adventure style, black and white.
Right.
I don't want to say bare bones, but like slimmed down. There's still a lot of stuff going on in this, and I don't want to make it sound like these are easy modules either. Like they're actually really good modules to pick up and play for $10.
Because then what I really like about this style is they're not necessarily trying to, all right, when they enter this room, say this paragraph.
Yeah.
It's much more broad than that. Like, all right,
there can be that in these modules, but they're not all like that.
Yeah, it is much more like, all right, in this area, here's what's going on, here's what to like understand and know. And they're more of a guide than a director, I think is maybe a good way.
Yeah, there's usually some crazy monsters in here. There's some crazy encounters set up. There's usually some wacky NPCs that you're going to run into. I saw one earlier that had like a bunch of mouths, which was kind of creepy. But this is an adventure that's actually designed for level 3 characters. So,
and also, I don't know if you noticed, but there are Valentines on the front cover.
Yeah.
So, you corrupted my heart, Valentine. So,
yeah.
There you go.
Again,
little bonus for you.
It was a Valentine's Day themed adventure. It's still in stores. It's very shiny.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it to show up on camera without glaring too much.
So glare.
Yeah. All right.
But go check out it. Yeah, go check that one out. It's a fun time.
And that's it, huh?
Yeah, that's it for the available stuff this week. Again, all these products you can pick up from our friends at Dragon's Den Comics and Fancy here in Austin, Texas. That's where we picked them all up from. And yeah, they're in stores by the time you watch the video. Go check them out.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a good. I like a game. I like a tabletop spotlight where it's a bunch of games that like aren't like we get a lot of. These are all weird IPs that like I've never heard of. I guess is what I'm getting.
You've heard of Arkham.
I've heard of Arkham. I've heard of Star Wars, but like I like when we cover the little more obscure stuff.
Yeah, it's a fun weekend, so be sure to go to your local gaming store and check out any of these games. You'll have a good time. So
do it.
Yeah, that'll be it. I'm Adam.
And I'm Matt.
We're from Bowls. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.